now we've got an eruption down here. Now we got a big slide coming off. The slide is coming off of the west slope. Now we got a whole great big eruption out of the crater. And we got another that opened up on the west side. The whole west side, northwest side is sliding down. Oh, wait, we got it, boy. The whole northwest section and north section blowing up, and coming up over the ridge towards me. I'm going to back out of here.
And this is a live picture that you're watching right now. Now, when we say live, we mean that this is the picture that our camera is taking at this very moment.
As most of you already know, we had a major eruption occurring at 8:32 approximately this morning on Mount St Helens. It does appear that the northwest flank of the mountain seems to be gone. They have indicated that there have been some mud flows that come down the southeast flank of the mountain. Emergency procedures have been put into effect. At 10:15 this morning, Eclipse County reported that a 12-foot wall of water was coming down the Tula River.
Good morning and welcome back to RP&W Adventures. I'm Marisa.
I'm Bren.
And today we are going back to basics with hiking.
Look at that. We're back.
We are doing the Boundary West Trail to Johnston Ridge Observatory. The road is closed due to a
mudslide.
Landslide.
Everything slide. And back in 2003, it's been closed. But they gonna open it sometime. We'll tell you when, and we'll give you all the facts and everything from 45 years ago of what happened here
at Mount St Helens.
Everybody
when she
pretty much
blew
knows.
her top off. Yeah. It's the 45th anniversary as of the date of this video will come out. So it's exciting, and we'll tell you about our 10-year history here hiking at Mount St Helens, all the awesome hikes that we've done around this whole entire mountain. So and to the top.
She said yes. All right. Let's huff and puff. Let's go.
Yep. Let's go.
Holy
That
moly.
was tough, huh?
Yeah.
We did 5 miles, 1,752 feet elevation. And we got a goat when we got here.
Yeah, there's a goat down there, hopefully.
Hopefully we can get him on camera.
Yeah.
That was tough, huh?
Yeah, it was a little tougher than
I expected.
we anticipated.
Yeah.
Probably, we haven't been hiking in a while, so.
Yeah.
But
it was good. It was beautiful.
It is.
View of the mountain the whole time.
Yeah. It's eerie out here.
It is. No people.
I think we're the only ones up here.
I think so.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna relax.
Have some lunch.
Yeah.
Do all the things.
Stuff. Okay.
Okay. We wanted to give a little bit of history about Mount St. Helens and what happened here. The year was 1980, and she had showed signs of volcanic activity months and months prior to that.
Especially April.
There was a lot of seismic activity going on the mountain, and so there was people up here watching it and things like that. But May 18th was the day she finally blew her top. The Mount St. Helens major eruption of May 18th, 1980 remains the deadliest and most economically destructive volcanic event in U.S. history. 57 people were killed, 200 homes, 47 bridges, 15 miles of railways, and 185 miles of highway were destroyed. A massive debris avalanche triggered by a magnitude 5.1 earthquake caused a lateral eruption that reduced the elevation of the mountain's summit from 9,677 feet to 8,363 feet, leaving a 1-mile-wide horseshoe-shaped crater. The ash from the eruption traveled hundreds of miles, with significant ashfall occurring as far east as central Montana and the Great Plains over 930 miles away. The ash cloud eventually spread across the United States and circled the globe within 2 weeks. As I said, 57 people were killed during the eruption. One of them was 83-year-old Harry Truman, who ran the Spirit Lake Lodge and had lived near the mountain since 1929. This gained much media attention when he decided not to evacuate before the impending eruption, despite repeated pleas by local authorities. His body was never found after the eruption. Another victim of the eruption was 30-year-old volcanologist David A. Johnston, who was stationed by the nearby Coldwater Ridge. Moments before his position was hit by the pyroclastic flow, Johnston radioed his last words, "Vancouver, Vancouver, this is it." Johnston's body was never found. Robert Landsberg was another victim, a photographer who took pictures of the approaching ash cloud. He placed his camera in his backpack and laid on top of it to protect the film. His body and the camera were found on June 4th, 1980. The photos survived and provided geologists with valuable documentation of the eruption. I remember my dad telling us stories. So my dad was a police officer, retired police officer, and he had to go and like watch the Cowlitz River over the one bridge that we had in town because there was like heavy mud flows and huge trees coming down the river and just like pushing, but it didn't break the bridge, luckily, so that was good. And then he also told us stories about how they had to use pantyhose over the like filters and carburetors in their police cars so that they would work because of the amount of ash that was coming down in the town that we lived in. And I remember my grandpa telling me my mom's stories when they were little kids. They took them to Spirit Lake here because there was like camping and all sorts of stuff on this side of the mountain at Spirit Lake, which is just right to the left of us here. I think there was like Boy Scout camps, Girl Scout camps, something like that up here. They would come and spend time in the summer, play in the lake, do all that stuff. And now there's absolutely no camping on this side whatsoever. Lake is closed down. I mean, there's huge amount of logs in the lake from when the mountain blew. So it's just so crazy to like see the differences of before the mountain blew to after the mountain blew. All right, so our most significant hike that we have done here on Mount St. Helens is our summit hike in October of 2021. Not only because it just holds a super special place in our heart because he proposed to me up there, but after hiking all over the mountain to finally get to the top of it and have that view and have that feeling of like completion of, finally conquering.
That was the hardest hike we've ever done.
It was definitely the hardest, most physically challenging hike we have done. So finally did it.
Yep.
We've gone all over this mountain.
All around. She said yes.
But we wanted to just kind of run through some of the other hikes that we've done, and some of them I would say we've done a couple of times. So if I'm estimating, I would say we've probably hiked over 100 miles over the mountain.
Hundreds.
It feels like hundreds.
Tens of thousands of feet up too. It feels like.
Some of the hikes that we've done is the Butte Camp Trail. We've done that one twice. We've done Ape Canyon twice, which I would say is probably one of the second hardest hikes because
it's pretty tough.
The switchbacks, the elevation, the freaking biting flies.
Yeah, those flies. Oh my
gosh.
How was the hike, Logan?
I say.
Yes.
The Tootle Trail and Sheep Canyon.
Yep.
The Ptarmigan Trail. Lava Canyon. The Boundary Trail and Windy Ridge. June Lake. The Fossil Trail.
little gnomes.
Coldwater Peak, which is another extremely hard hike that we did.
But it's so beautiful.
It's so pretty.
Radios and stuff.
Solar panels. We got Mount St Helens, Mount Adams, Mount Rainier, 4 mountains.
4 mountains, yeah.
It's beautiful. The one thing with like all the hikes on this side of the mountain is they are super challenging and there is zero coverage. Like no tree coverage, no nothing, so you're just exposed to the elements.
Yeah.
Coldwater Lake, we did the whole loop on that one.
Yep, and south of Coldwater too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Hey, watch it back there, buddy.
The Hummocks Trail. We've done the Johnston to Lewitt Falls, which is another super challenging hike.
It's really long, but very rewarding at the end. The waterfall is absolutely beautiful.
Yeah. Chocolate Falls. And we're at the top of Chocolate Falls. Chocolate No Falls. We've done sections of the Lewitt Trail, so the Lewitt runs all the way around the mountain. We have not done them all consecutive, but
we've done a lot of sections.
Yeah, and then Goat Marsh. Yeah. So yeah, it's just been a great time hiking in this mountain over the last 10 years. So
love it. And then beautiful Mount Adams right over there. Yeah.
Yep.
These two mountains are absolutely amazing. Very underrated, I think. I think Mount Rainier gets most of the rating when it comes to Washington State.
Oh yeah, for sure.
These two mountains are just amazing, and there's roads and just camping places forever, as you can see from our YouTube channel. We love it.
Well,
what?
I think that's it.
No, I want to stay here. I don't want to leave. I don't want to leave.
We're going to head back down to the car.
Oh, my legs hurt.
Are you ready?
No, my legs hurt. My legs hurt.
Okay, well, let's hurry it along for them.
Oh, okay.
All right, we'll see you back at the car.
Snap it. Yep.
All right, we got done with our hike. That was a rough one. We got sunburned, and we put on sunscreen like 4 times.
Ow.
Yeah.
That's going to hurt tomorrow.
Yeah.
But so worth it. What an amazing hike.
It was. It was tough.
Views 100, almost 100% of the time.
Yeah.
Oh.
So one thing about this area, Johnston Ridge Observatory is closed because there was a huge landslide a couple of years ago.
Oh, yeah.
That blocked the road. And so I think it'll be open mid-2027 potentially.
They say spring, so.
If you want to get up here, you have to hike up to Johnston's Ridge. And I highly recommend it because it is so unique not having any people around.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
and
it was
eerie up there.
Yeah, it was really cool. Totally worth it, but it was a tough one.
Yeah, we did about 10 miles and
1,800 feet elevation.
Yep.
Yeah.
In what, 5 hours, something like that?
5 hours. So. And sunburned all to heck.
Yep. But it is time to go
hit the road
and then get some after hike beers.
Yes, and tacos.
Duh. Let's get out of here.
All right. If you have any questions about the hikes we talked about or want any hiking recommendations around this area, definitely hit us up on either in the comments on YouTube or on Instagram. But yeah.
Let's go.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us on this edition of our PNW Adventures, and we'll see you in the next video.
Peace out.
Deuces.
Bye.
Bye.